So I'm here today with a first impressions video, and I think I've only ever done one of these, but I will get cracking with this one. And this is for a new foundation that has just sort of arrived on the market, and I kind of had to go out straight away and buy it because it sounded so perfect for my skin type, and I do actually like this brand's foundations, having used quite a few in the past. And it is of course the Chanel Perfection Lumiere Velvet, which looks so sleek and gorgeous in this black packaging. You'll notice it is the same packaging as the Vita Lumiere Aqua, and I quite prefer these sort of squeezy bottles. You seem to be able to dispense the product better, because I do find with some Chanel foundations, especially Perfection Lumiere, that the pump gets quite clogged. So this is just the sleekest, most gorgeous packaging, and yeah, packaging out of the way, it's Chanel, it's going to be gorgeous. So this retails for £33 and you get 30ml, and it has an SPF of 15. Now the difference between this, which is the Velvet, and the Vita Lumiere Aqua is quite simple. It is probably aimed more towards somebody with oilier skin. It gives you a sort of velvety, almost matte finish. So I'm wearing it today, and I'll insert some clips as we go along about sort of how I'm applying it. Yeah, so I feel like this gives such a nice finish. Like, I'm looking in the viewfinder and I feel like it looks really nice on camera, so that's good. So because it has a low SPF, it means you're not going to get sort of the dreaded ghost face flashback and looking like you're out of a horror movie. So that's something that I'm usually drawn to if it has a low SPF. So first of all, it smells amazing. All Chanel foundations have a very similar scent. They're quite fragrant, so if you don't really like fragranced foundations, then this one probably won't really appeal to you. I personally quite like them. It's quite a distinctive smell, so you smell it and you know that it's Chanel. It doesn't smell like perfume though, just to say. So this is Smooth Effect makeup, and basically it's a lightweight, it literally feels like I've got nothing on my skin right now, so it's very lightweight, and it's quite a light to medium coverage depending on how much you put on and how much you build it. I went and picked this up today, and I've literally just tried it on so this is sort of like a first sort of feel for it. It's not, you know, I haven't worn it for a long period of time. I've probably worn it for about sort of 10-15 minutes, so we'll see how I get on. So I used the Real Techniques buffing brush to apply this, just because that is kind of the go-to one that I use for quite light, sort of quite runny foundations. This one has got quite a bit, it's quite runny, but it's not like water. It's not like MAC Face and Body sort of runny. And I find that the Real Techniques buffing brush gives really good sort of coverage and sort of blends everything in really nicely, especially with the lighter sort of more runny consistency foundations. So that's why I chose that. You can also apply it with your fingers. I'm not really one for applying foundations with fingers. I'm a mucky pup, and it's bad enough getting fake tan everywhere, so I don't really want to get a foundation everywhere, so that's sort of personal preference. So I used 2 sort of blobs of this. It squirts out and dispenses quite nicely. You get a sort of a nice small amount that does go quite far. So obviously upon applying it, I found that it sort of blended in really nicely straight away, and it took a little bit of time to get rid of sort of the redness in my skin. I don't know whether that's just because I've literally just taken my makeup off and put it back on again, so I'll have to try that sort of as and when, sort of like maybe tomorrow, and sort of see if it is how it is with the redness there, because my skin isn't massively red, but I think it was just because I had taken my makeup off and applied some moisturiser, etc. before starting the video. So I found that it did give a very light, very natural coverage, to the point where it did look like my skin, but just kind of any imperfections sort of smoothed out, and it didn't clog around my nose or my pores or anything like that, which was something that I was a little bit worried about. And I feel like it looks quite sort of like I haven't got any highlighter on whatsoever. I mean, I've got a bit of bronzer on and a little bit of blush, but I feel like it's quite a sort of dewy, it's quite dewy but without being sort of shiny. It's kind of a nice finish, and that's I suppose where the Velvet name comes into it, but it is quite matte. Like, it does look like it's gonna have some staying power behind it, and it doesn't feel too dewy. It's kind of like in between. So whereas Vita Lumiere Aqua was very sort of dewy and probably better for drier skin. This is more catered towards the oilier skin, such as myself. I used Lumiere Aqua, I think it was about 2 years ago, and I did actually repurchase it. I really liked the foundation, but I just felt it wasn't really staying on my skin at all. It would sort of look to go a bit patchy in places, sort of after about 4 or 5 hours wear, which to me it shouldn't really be happening. I have put a little bit of powder on, but that is just for the lighting that I've got, so I didn't feel like I needed to put powder on, but just like a little bit through my T-zone, just like the tiniest amount just for filming. I do find that Chanel foundations are usually worth the money. Like, I don't find that I've bought any in the past that I've been really disappointed with at all. Like, I'm quite good at sort of researching products, and if they sound like they're catered towards my skin type, that means they're probably going to be quite good. I feel like this looks really sort of quite radiant on the skin and youthful, but with also sort of keeping any oil at bay and just giving really nice coverage. So I've just kind of put like 2 blobs on and sort of really buffed that into the skin, and so I did 1 thin layer and then just applied some more on top, and I feel like it's given really good coverage. At least that's what the camera is telling me. Yeah, so I'm really impressed with this so far, and I'm sure that I will be doing a full length review on my blog once I've really got to grips with it. But I thought I'd do a little first impressions video because I know that this is getting quite hyped up in the blogging world, and like my timeline today was like ridiculous on Twitter. It was literally everybody was saying to go get this foundation, or that they were reviewing it. So I was like, calm down guys, I'm on my way, don't worry, I'm going to go get it. Before I go, I have the shade 20 beige, which I thought that I would be because I was beige 20 in Lumiere Aqua, and the shading is very, very similar because it's pretty much the same foundation, just with a slightly different finish. So the guy matched me up to that, which I thought that's what I would be at the counter, but he did say that I could probably go up to 30 if it's sort of like I've got a good tan, but I thought I would stick with the 20, and then if I need to I can just put the bronzer on. And I always find like the best thing to do with foundations is to go for a shade slightly lighter than you probably think, because it's much easier to warm up a foundation and your complexion with a bit of bronzer rather than having it being too sort of orange on your skin and being a bit too dark and then getting the dreaded tide mark. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Just thought I'd film a little one just because I was so excited about the product itself, because it's Chanel and hello, don't need to say any more than that. Anyway, yeah, so hopefully you guys did enjoy it. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. Leave me a little comment below and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys soon. Bye!